What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about everything that we know about Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Recently there was a huge information discussion, rumors, speculation about what is going on with this game, and I wanted to compile everything that we have learned so far based on my previous videos and articles that are out there, on top of a few things that I have learned myself by doing a little bit of sleuthing out there when it comes to information. Now, for those who don't know, I am a huge Xenoblade Chronicles fan. I've been playing it since the original came out all those years ago. I was part of the Operation Rainfall in terms of letting Nintendo know that we want the original Xenoblade on the Wii and also those other games as well, but Xenoblade was definitely the biggest one out of the lot. So yeah, I really do love me some Xenoblade, so I cannot wait to get into this and compile this information for you guys. But before we get into that, please make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe if you are someone new for daily gaming videos, Nintendo, RPGs, live streams, and more. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell to get my videos first, especially as we ramp up our Xenoblade Chronicles 3 or Xenoblade Chronicles coverage. Now, let's go ahead and get into this. Now, at first, we do know that there are a couple different teams at Monolith Soft. A lot of people are confused about Monolith Soft, so I want to just briefly break down this company and what to expect from them. Now, Monolith Soft is split up into I think about 4 to 5 different teams. A lot of them just work on auxiliary work for other games that Nintendo has as a first-party developer. They are in-house first-party developers, so they help out with Animal Crossing, they help out with Legend of Zelda, they help out with lots of different stuff with Nintendo, so just keep that in mind. But they have multiple studios that are helping out with that. Now, with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that was not the full brunt of the Xenoblade Chronicles team. The last time that we actually got the full power of the Xenoblade or Monolith Soft team was Xenoblade Chronicles X, because that was a huge, massive undertaking for them, that huge open world. They also had online multiplayer, passive and cooperative online, what they were doing with the graphics and the Wii U, just getting that game running on that system, because the Wii U wasn't known to be the most RPG, huge world friendly and everything, but they were able to get that engine on there. They were able to get that game running pretty good on there and create one of the most beautiful worlds, in my opinion, in the HD era when it comes to RPGs. So this definitely leads, if you put 2 and 2 together, well, that main team that did Xenoblade Chronicles X and how they've been adding on new people has definitely been working on something since 2015, 2016 or so, because remember, that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 team was not the full brunt of the team. It was essentially just around 40 something to 50 people with some outside contracted help as well that made a game as big as Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So going into this game here, it does seem like the main Takahashi Team 1 is on this next game based on what we're going to talk about here. So going back to earlier in the year, Yasunori Mitsuda, the longtime Xenoblade Chronicles composer, he's one of the most legendary composers of all time and has worked on some great RPGs. He actually said that he is just wrapping up some large-scale music production when it comes down to it. So yeah, that just goes to show you that it's probably going to be a Xenoblade game. He said that he will begin a large-scale project, and that was back in April. So if that was back in April, one thing that you guys have to know is that when you do a video game, usually you do all the scenes, you do all the battles, you do everything so the composer can look at the scenes, look at what happens and say, okay, this is how the music's going to be for this area. This is how the music's going to be for the final boss. This is how the music's going to be for this. Like, you want to be able to get a visual on the characters, see their style, their personality, then set the music to that. You don't do it beforehand, which I'm pretty sure maybe some games do, but for the most part, you wait till the end and then you go ahead and get that music going. So if you started back in April, that definitely tells me that video game production is wrapping up with this. They are wrapping up with it and they're getting ready to talk about something soon. And that should be Xenoblade Chronicles 3 based on some more information that we're going to go over. Now, recently, the Xenoblade voice actress implies that a new game is in the works, and Fanbyte, Mr. Imran Khan, has actually talked about this a bit more, saying yes, this is correct. Now, this backs up stuff that I've heard from a couple sources that I do have, that there is a new Xenoblade Chronicles game in the works. Something's going down, but now we have a bit more information on that, and apparently it will be revealed soon. Now, Imran Khan states this: in June of this year, a Xenoblade fan held a particularly significant interview with actress Jenna Coleman, Coleman, who's primarily known for her roles as Clara Oswald on TV institution Doctor Who and Jasmine Thomas in the soap opera Emmerdale, was also Melia in the first Xenoblade Chronicles over a decade ago. She appeared in a video chat with the YouTube channel Din's Meteorite, a small gaming channel with around 33 subscribers, to talk about several subjects, including her time spent on the Xenoblade Chronicles and the recent expanded Switch remaster, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Now, while the interview was published 2 months ago, it only recently caught the notice of social media, in large part because of an accidental slip of the tongue from Coleman, and probably because he only has 33 subscribers, so many people just weren't paying attention to it in the first place. Now, musings about her first role in Xenoblade Chronicles, Coleman said, quote, "I did it pre-Doctor Who days, and when they did the second one, they asked me to come back, and I think they're going to do another one." Coleman paused, quote, "Common knowledge? Don't know. Yeah, I think they're going to do another one. Not sure if I'm allowed to say that." Now, Coleman's quote has caused a lot of rumors to stir around over the weekend of a brand new Xenoblade Chronicles game currently in development. Now, according to Fanbyte's sources, Mr. Imran Khan, he states that yes, that they can confirm that that is the case. Moreover, the game is nearing its final stages of development, but its release date may be held back for a number of reasons. Now, the third Xenoblade Chronicles game in development at Monolith Soft is a sequel to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Now, this is new information that I have not heard about at all. I have not had any sources tell me this, so I don't know about this, so I'm very excited to go over this with you guys and also talk about it a bit more as well. Now, this is currently the best-selling game in the series. That's Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It sold over 2 million copies. Now, the ending of the trilogy takes place in the far-flung future, with a few returning characters who have long outlived their human counterparts from both Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. This is why Coleman, who plays Melia, would be aware of a third game, as her character is returning and she more than likely recorded voice acting for it. Now, according to their sources, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was set to be revealed earlier this year and may still be announced before the end of the calendar year here in 2021, but had a difficult time with the pandemic development and optimizing the game for the Nintendo Switch. The game is aiming for more character models on screen at once than the previous title, accounting for both playable characters and enemies. Now, this shouldn't come as a shock or anything, because Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition expanded content was titled Future Connected, indicating that Monolith Soft was looking forward to the future of the series, and if all goes well, the game could be released as soon as the first half of next year, delayed from its original and now exceedingly unlikely winter 2021 target date. Now, of course, he does say things can change, development's kind of crazy, don't take it as gospel or the word, but they have heard that this is happening. Now, I do want to move over to one of the friends over there at the Spawncast, Mr. Nate from Direct Feed Games. He actually had a little bit to say about this as well, and he stated this on Twitter. "The information detailed and shared in the article that we just discussed is accurate. Nintendo and Monolith Soft originally intended to announce the game several months ago. The current plan is this year or the fiscal year, though it could slip again. It's pushing the Switch hardware to its limits." So that is pretty much the roundup of information that we've gotten so far for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 or the next Xenoblade game. And I wanted to add a little bit of my commentary on top of that. So once again, I have a source or two that has stated that yes, Monolith Soft is working on a new Xeno game. Now, I put out a couple of different theories. If you come to my live stream, some of you guys do, some of you guys don't, but make sure you come out to my live streams, where I talked about, hey, this could be the reboot of the franchise. We talk about a new IP. We talk about different stuff that Monolith Soft could be doing. Well, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 could be disguised as that new IP. When they showed off that concept art, when they showed off those other type of things, and people were saying, oh, well, it's something completely different from Xenoblade Chronicles. Well, that could still be Xenoblade Chronicles, where it's just far in the future, things have changed, but they bring over some of the elements, some of the characters, and they really try something different with the series. Now, here's the reason why I think this could be that, or this just could be something very different from what we've got from Xenoblade Chronicles 1, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Xenoblade Chronicles X, or any of the other offshoots like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torn of the Golden Country, or Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected. The reason why I say that is because Nintendo now has a bona fide hit on their hands. All of the most recent Xenoblade Chronicles games have all done well over 1 million units. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, a Wii port, has sold over 1.4, 1.5 million units, and at $60, making Monolith Soft a ton of money in addition to Nintendo as well. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has sold over 2 million units, making them, once again, a lot of money as well. So I do think that in order for them to break past this 1.5 to 2 million barrier, they definitely need to invest some more time and money into it. Monolith Soft has been growing their studio. Monolith Soft has also been working on something big. We know that Takahashi and his main team have been working on something, and it reminds me of the lead up to what we had with Xenoblade Chronicles X, where they're saying, hey, we want to be the Bethesda. That was back when Bethesda, all the issues that they had. We want to be the Bethesda of Japan, and building this huge immersive open world where people can just lose hours upon hours into, and they put out, in my opinion, still one of the most impressive open world RPGs of all time with Xenoblade Chronicles X, and it was a bit of a departure from what they did with Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii. It was very different in terms of what they were doing, the mechs in there having playable, so you can get inside there and have hybrid types of teams with that, so it completely changed up a number of key factors with the original Xenoblade Chronicles while still keeping the feel and flavor of some of the things. I think that that's what this new Xenoblade Chronicles game is aiming for, but I think that they're aiming for even more of a mainstream appeal, and that would definitely start with the look or the graphics of the game. It's pushing the Switch hardware to its limits. I think that means more than just having a big open world. I actually think that means investing a lot of time and money into getting the frame rate and into getting the resolution better and into getting the everything when it comes to the game. So maybe not as much as Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Obviously, they're not going to put that type of money, but with their expertise of Monolith Soft and what they can do, and with them actually getting more of a budget and having a bigger team size, they can make that Xenoblade Chronicles X equivalent, but on stronger hardware with the Nintendo Switch, with more experience working in HD, and of course with probably more time than they got beforehand when it comes to what they've developed. So everything is kind of just shaping up for this to be a very impressive game. Now, how good will the game be? Well, I like Monolith Soft, and I've pretty much played every single game that they've made over the last decade or so, and there's not really a game that I dislike or I think is a bad game. So I'm guessing that this game is going to be extremely well done and crafted nicely, and it's going to be a lot better than what you would expect with the presentation when it comes to Xenoblade Chronicles, the original Definitive Edition, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna, Future Connected, any of the other ones. Expect this to look the best, run the best, and probably play the best overall. I just do think that there is something in the works here based on what I've heard and based on all the little pieces that are now coming together at this point. But those are my thoughts on the matter. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. Are you excited or hyped for Xenoblade Chronicles 3? Let's hear it. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description. I've got a Twitter page. Go and give me a follow on there. Stay up to date on what is gaming news and information. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.